If you enjoy our original content, please consider becoming a supporter on Anchor so that we can continue to bring you laughs every week.
The following program may contain immature situations, themes, and is intended for an adult audience. The opinions expressed here do not necessarily reflect the views of everyone else working on the show. Viewer discretion is advised. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Danny McDermott Show. I'm so excited. I think this is episode 34, isn't it, Kevin?
I believe that is correct.
God, we've been doing this a long time.
I'm aging right in front of our audience.
Dude, that's why you got to dye your hair, Kevin.
I always said I would. I always said I would dye my hair, and I always said I would carry the first feasible man purse. But really? I managed, yeah. When I was young, I was like, you ever stab yourself in the leg with your keys when you're a kid?
Oh, yeah.
I was like, you know what would solve this? A purse suitable for a man.
Right? The fanny pack.
But yeah, I don't think they've reached the point yet that I can do it. And now I'm at the age where new shit is like scary and challenging.
Yeah, well, so, I totally agree. It's a big day today. We got biological clock day. Why do we need a day for that? Seriously, as if men need more pressure. You know what I mean? Let's make it an official holiday so there's no way to avoid the conversation. You know what I'm saying?
I don't think that day targets men as much as it targets women.
No, it targets men because the women can talk about it now. They're like, hey, it's biological clock day. You can't avoid this conversation. You know what I mean? Sorry. I got a little PTSD about it, okay? That's all I'm saying.
No, it's okay. It's all of our biological clocks are ticking, Danny. This rodeo ends only one way.
No, but when you talk about biological clock, it's not the same for men. We don't want to get pregnant. You know what I mean? We want to keep it fun and not have kids for as long as possible.
No, that's a good plan.
We like to practice. Don't get me wrong, but we like to practice having kids, but not actually have the kids for. Anyway, I'm kidding.
The reversible vasectomy is one of the greatest inventions of all time.
Yeah, it's kind of not worth it, though. It's kind of too much pain to go through. It's also, by the way, Denim Day. Denim Day. What better way to celebrate than to bring back your mom jeans, by the way? Have you seen this? Yes. Young girls are wearing mom jeans. They're wearing mom jeans again. And they come up over the belly button. Have you seen it? Look at that. Young girls are wearing this. Why? Why do they want to look like a 75-year-old golfer? They weren't attractive on my mom, and they're not attractive on young women. It's like, I don't get it. The clock's always ticking, boys. Alexa, hey, good to see you in there.
You wear your mom jeans backwards, and it's like plumber's crack defense.
It is kind of. You're right. Okay, yeah, I guess if plumbers can wear them, that's fine with me. Plumbers can wear mom jeans. Okay, I don't want to see plumbers crack, so I have no problem with It's also International Guide Dogs Day. That was last Wednesday?
That's nice, but why is there a graphic for that? Is that for the dog to read? Who's reading that?
Well, it's not the blind guy.
That's what I'm saying.
It's like I just saw a TikTok where the dog turned off the TV with a remote. So you don't know how smart these dogs are. International Noise Awareness Day. Kind of like the deafening tick of that biological clock. Sorry, PTSD. It's never going to go away, Kevin. It's never going to go away.
I actually have misophonia, which is a condition I knew I had when I was a kid, but I didn't know it had a name until about 10 years ago.
What is that? The fear of miso soup? No,
it's the hatred of noise. So,
oh, really?
Like chewing noises or somebody next to you tapping a pen incessantly.
So like this
drives me crazy. Oh yeah, no. Yes. I'm thinking of ways to mute you.
That must be hard to have a dinner date, Kevin. Stop eating. Do you have to chew?
If you don't want a second date with me, there's an easy way out. Slurp your way through dessert, and there's
and chew with your mouth open.
Oh boy, yeah.
Oh my God, that's like your personal hell.
It's
also National Superhero Day, because imaginary people deserve a holiday too. Seriously, people who are alive, who are real people, need holidays. Why do can you imagine? We got to give it to these fake imaginary people.
That's great.
It's crazy. It's crazy. Since we started this segment about national days I just can't believe the crazy days that they have now. You know what I mean?
And I don't think we've gotten to the like really, really good ones, or it's personalized according to your URL and they won't show them to me.
Well, I'm sure there's a National Chew with Your Mouth Open Day. That would be that we got.
Drill a hole into your own head day.
Kevin just walks around with like noise muffling headphones all day. Everybody's walking, chewing with their mouth open. I've known this about you since we've known each other. Like, I don't even know, like 20 years. I remember we were on the phone one day and I'm like eating something. You go, "Are you eating?" I'm like, "Yeah." You're like, "You got to stop. I got to hang up. I can't deal with this." I couldn't believe it. I thought you were kidding. I was like, "Are you serious?" Like, no, I can't hear the slurp. I can't hear the chewing. I can't. It's. If you were a girlfriend, I'd break up with you right now.
That's great.
All right, so I'm excited. I want to get right to the guests today. We got a great show tonight. I'm very excited. We're getting so many amazing and different guests from different genres of entertainment. And so our first guest is about to come on. He is a DJ, and he's a former touring DJ for Limp Bizkit. Please welcome Franko Carino.
Hey, what's up, guys?
What's up, buddy?
Hey, I gotta tell you a funny story real quick. So just before you came on, Kevin and I met, and as we're meeting, I'm unrolling a fucking fruit roll-up and like getting ready to eat. So now I feel like an asshole. I'm like, oh,
no.
No, chew away, man.
Yeah, I'm sitting there like I'm trying to snack before the show starts.
But the packaging. The packaging was like playing defense for me. I was like, "Get in there, packaging."
Yeah. Sorry, I had to throw that in there real quick. That's hilarious.
No worries, man. This is a fun show. You can say whatever you want, talk about whatever you want to talk about. That's what this is all about.
Well, thank you guys so much for having me.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for coming on. When did you start as a DJ, and how did that happen?
I started DJing very, very young, actually. Like just hanging out. I met this guy who was like the older kid, you know what I mean? And he was the DJ at like the goth club. I was hanging out at the goth clubs when I was a kid because they didn't check IDs. So and he just was like, kind of took me under his wing and started teaching me how to DJ, and then it just kind of progressed from there and turned into a career out of
a goth club.
Yeah.
Really?
Goth Industrial Club. Yeah, that's where I cut my teeth, as it were. Yeah.
So tell me about this goth club. Because I actually the movie that I wrote that we're hopefully going to be shooting in the fall. There's a scene at a goth club.
Yeah.
And so I want to hear. Tell me what it's about. Tell me what.
Well,
what it's like.
this was 20 years ago. The place has been bulldozed since. But it was just a huge like live music venue that we took over on Saturday nights and danced to New Order and Depeche Mode and Skinny Puppy all night long. Drinking Zimas.
Zimas.
Yeah. And everybody, all the girls are smoking cloves, But,
right? Oh my God.
Yeah. Totally.
I remember that. I couldn't stand the Zima guy. He drove me nuts. Everything he said with a Z. You know what I mean?
Those commercials were the worst.
Oh, they were.
Absolute worst. It's funny that the first time I went to Japan with Limp Bizkit in like 2010, I want to say, fucking Zima everywhere. Couldn't believe it. like it just came out in Japan, and I was like, "What is going on?" Like, no, I don't want a fucking Zima, and yeah, it was everywhere. I couldn't believe it. So
I gotta do a shout out to Christine Hockford. She is one of my oldest friends, and when I first moved to New York City, she bought me groceries and helped me survive. So thank you for watching, Christine. Good to see you. Yeah, the glasses. These are my reading glasses. I got them at the dollar store. They're very, very chic. So
you guys all have a theme
now,
with like green screening glasses. I'm like, fuck. I'm in my goth phase still. Apparently,
I got these.
No worries.
I got my glasses taking my son in for a vision test for his, and we were talking, and I was talking about how I don't have any depth perception. Like I could never see when I was a little kid playing baseball. If a ball got hit straight to me, I couldn't tell behind me which way it was going, how far, how close. So the optometrist was like, "All right, well, take a look. Let's see how your eyes are." So I brought my son in for glasses. I left with a prescription to get glasses myself.
Yeah.
The same thing happened
because they're good at their job.
The same exact thing happened when I took him for his ADHD diagnosis. The guy's like, "Yeah, you know who has ADHD? The people that work on the floor of the exchange." I was like, "I did that for like 8 years." He's like, "What do you do for a living now?" "I'm a stand-up comic." He's like, "Oh." So, on the way out, I told my son, "If you're not circumcised, I ain't the one to take you."
Wait, how did it go from ADHD to circumcision? I don't know.
Because every time I took my son somewhere medical, I wound up getting a procedure or a diagnosis. So I was like, "Yeah, okay, no, not there. That's not happening."
So when your son was a baby, he got circumcised. Your doctor's like, the Moyle was like, "Yeah, let me see yours. I think you should get a circumcision at this."
He's like, "Whip it out." I'm like, "I'm Irish, bro." He's like, "All right, well, slowly drop everything and we'll see if we can't get a gander at it."
Which must have been like really awkward at the breasts.
No, I don't.
All the relatives are like, ah.
We're all Irish. It's it's not that unimpressive in that crowd.
So okay. So you became a DJ.
Yeah.
Right. And then now how long before you got with Limp Bizkit?
I started working for Limp Bizkit in 2008, I want to say. And then I got the job in 2012. So I'd probably been DJing and producing for a good 12 years prior to that. In and around town here, nothing really significant until afterwards. Because Jacksonville was a small place up until a few years ago, I feel like.
Well, back then you were actually using records and stuff, right?
Well, I started at the dawn of CDs, so I came in on that wave. That it was just at the time when it wasn't cool to bring records anywhere. And
really?
we had these huge, ridiculously sized CD players that was like, it looked like a rack mount computer for NASA with this dumb little LCD screen with giant dials on it, and it didn't do anything but literally play the CDs. You know what I mean? I think they had a little bit of pitch control, so you could do a little bit of beat matching, but it's light years now. You know.
How did you do the scratchy thing if you didn't have a record?
It didn't work so good on CDs back then,
right?
Yeah, it's like the movies when the record comes to us, like it's and everybody just stops and look. That's what it looked. That's what it sounded like. It was awful. So, and you didn't get called back.
And so now, what kind of what do they? How to explain the art of DJing? Because a lot of people, they don't get it. They're like, I know a lot of people are like, what's the big deal? They press play on their iPad and they play music. You know?
Yeah.
Can you explain
it? A lot of it is, you know, as a stand-up comic, you got to read the room. You know what I mean? Like, and you're feeling the vibe of everybody, and you're setting the tone of everything. There's a lot of guys that just go in there and fucking hit play and just don't care. But then there's other guys that are like, if you don't hear a change in the song for 1 hour, that's a good ass DJ, because his job is to keep the flow going, and you're not supposed to know that a song stopped and a song started. You know, so it's a lot of just feeling everybody, and like, you know, just controlling the emotions in the room, really. You know, just like any other entertainment, you know.
Which must be a great. It must be a great skill to be a DJ when you're about to make love with your girl.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You're like having sex.
You read the room. You know what song to play.
You're like operating the equipment while you're having sex. You're like,
yeah.
You match the beat. It's a good idea.
That's right. And then you leave early and go back to the hotel and eat your after show food, just like any. Or you stay, whatever.
Did you have a particular DJ? Because goth is not where I would expect the DJ to come from. I would expect house music back in the day, or hip hop. Right. So how did you come to like DJing professionally?
I kind of just got thrown to the fire. You know, it was one of those things of like, hey, we need a DJ. You want to make a couple $100? So I was like, yeah, sure. You know, I've been doing house parties and stuff. So a lot of my career, I could think of, it just kind of got thrown to the fire. That happened in Limp Bizkit. It was just like all of a sudden, like, hey, you want the job? It's like, shit, yeah, okay. You know, my first show was in front of like 300,000 people or something like that.
Wow.
Nice.
Oh my
you know
God.
what I mean? So it's like, just, you either can do it or you can't, you know.
That's like an Irish family.
Yeah. Yeah.
One side.
That's like a family party for me. Now, a lot of people don't realize, you know, it's Limp Bizkit. That's a band. So why does a band need a DJ? Can you explain that?
Well, yeah, a lot of the stuff that was done before me by DJ Lethal was like another guitar player in the band. So as far as the scratching goes, it's all, you know, the tones are matching the guitar. He had wall pedals and he had a guitar cabinet just like a guitar player. He just wasn't playing guitar. He was playing turntable. So in a lot of that, so it's not traditional DJing, you know, like you would hear in hip hop or something like that. He kind of innovated it so it became an instrument. And so I took that and made it digital, and you know, because I'm nowhere near as good as that guy is. He's like one of the grandfathers of that. So I simplified it for myself and just kind of made it make sense. But in Limp Bizkit, it's another guitar player or another drummer, you know, in certain parts.
Okay, so you're actually playing with the band
during
the concert.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I'm triggering samples and singing backups and doing all kinds of stuff. And,
wow, so you're singing too. That's great.
Yeah, that was another thing getting thrown into the fire.
Now, were you a singer before?
Not really. I just kind of always sang background or backups in you know, whatever projects. And I think we were at rehearsal one day and Fred wanted a gang vocal on one of the songs, and he heard me sing and he's like, "Oh, you should sing on this one too." oh, you should sing on this one too. Oh, you should sing on this one too. And then it became like, just sing on fucking everything. Just sing backups on fucking everything. And then it just turned into that. And then I ended up backing him up all the time. And then actually Lethal came back, and then I stayed on as a backup singer for a year after all that. And then I left in 2019, like a year ago, just before COVID hit. Actually, I left.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Now, what was it like working with these guys? What are they like?
It was the closest thing, I guess, that I've heard of being in a fraternity. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Just brothers, like, you know, I could call any one of them at any time if I need something ever, and you know, everybody's always there. And that extends to the road crew and the management. You know, it's not just the band members. We all became very, very tight and very cool. You know, like everybody's fucking awesome. I hear people talk shit about Fred all the time, and I get offended. I'm like, you guys don't even know he's like the sweetest dude of all time. You know, there was one time I lost my luggage coming into. We were flying into Brussels or something, and my suitcase just got lost for like a week. And he called me up to his hotel room and opened his suitcase and was like, "Take whatever you need. You know, I know you don't have your clothes or nothing." And I was like, "Dude, that's mad cool. Like nobody would do that." So most people wouldn't do that, you know.
Right.
Especially not somebody of that status to, you know, take somebody in and just be like, "Here, take whatever you need. Underwear, socks, shirts, fucking whatever you need." So
that's awesome, man.
Yeah, so all those guys are fucking awesome.
So they treated you like a regular band member.
Yeah.
Sounds like you were.
Put me in photos and stuff, and I just didn't play on any records. Like I was there helping and just kind of you know, jamming along and kind of helping the creativity. But nothing's come out actually since since 2010 or something. So, but
I mean, everybody dreams of being in a rock and roll band. You know what I mean? Everybody dreams of it. And you're a DJ, and then suddenly now you're with this amazing, you know, famous band. I mean, that must have been, what was that like? That must have changed your whole life.
It was absolutely surreal, you know, when it first happened. So, like I said before, I was working for the band as a technician beforehand. And Fred calls me up I was living in LA at the time, and Fred called me up to meet him at some Mexican restaurant, whatever. I don't remember the name of it. It was somewhere, some Taco Tuesday thing. And I meet him there, and Nick Swartzen's there, like randomly hanging out.
I know Nick.
Yeah.
I text Nick every once in a while. He's a good dude.
I took him home that day after I got the job. So you could ask him, tell him I said hi. He was there the day I got hired.
I'm going to text him right now. I'm going to text him.
So, Franko, have you picked up an appreciation for more like hip hop DJs or those type of DJs from your experience?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I definitely got a new love and understanding of like the turntablist lifestyle, where those guys they're cutting up and separating songs on the fly and doing all kinds of crazy shit. I used to. People just don't know, you know. They just hear a song, you know.
When you were talking about the beat not changing for an hour at a party, I used to sneak up. A lot of my friends DJ'd in varying degrees of success in varying degrees of local places. And one of my friends in particular, I would walk up. This is when 1200s were the thing, and I would just hit stop and see what he did.
Yeah. Did he?
No, he would never get me. Sometimes they'd look at me, but it would always work.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
By the way, for those of you who don't know, Nick Swartzen is in all of Adam Sandler's movies. He's a very funny comedic actor. And now, wait, how was he involved with the band?
So he's friends with Fred and was just having lunch with him. So you know, I'm starstruck because I love Nick Swartzen, and I'm at the table like Fred's like, "Hey, do you think you can handle the job?" Blah blah blah. And I was like, "Yeah, I could do it." And then he's like, "Hey, will you take Nick home after this?" And I was like, "This day keeps getting better and better." And I was living in Playa del Rey at the time, and we were talking about how we had a faulty neighbor. I won't name names. Who
Right,
was
of course.
kind of a town bully, and he lived in Venice and had a similar situation with the same guy. And we're just kind of talking shit in the car the whole time. It was pretty fucking awesome. And I ran into him a couple times after that.
Oh, that's me. That's me and Nick Swartzen right there.
There you go.
And that's Ben
Ran into
Morrison
him
in the
at,
back. That's Jay
Oh,
Davis,
shit.
and that's Ben Morrison in the back. Ben was on the last show, or 2 shows ago, I think.
Nice.
But yeah, Nick is great. Nick is great.
Yeah, he's a good dude. We used to run into him every now and again after that at Rock and Riley's right there on Sunset.
You know where he hangs out a lot? He hangs out at Barney's Beanery.
Oh yeah,
in Hollywood. He's got like a chair. He's there a lot. Whenever he's in town, he's there drinking. He's a good dude.
That's awesome. Yeah, he was solid.
I'm laughing because I'm picturing myself in that situation, and I'm starstruck until the chewing starts. Then not so much.
Well, they're tacos, so they're soft. It wasn't crunchy tacos.
That's even worse for Kevin.
Yeah. Everybody is having margaritas and stuff, so
yeah.
You don't hear so good after 7.
That's amazing, dude. I can't imagine. So you basically started DJing at a goth club. Somehow, how did you get connected with Limp Bizkit, though? How did you even get involved with them?
So, I had a band that I had a local band here in Jacksonville that John Otto, the drummer, wanted to sign to his record deal, or I'm sorry, to his record label, and the deal kind of fell apart and whatever. But John and I remained friends, and then years later, Sam Rivers, who's the bass player in the band, opened a recording studio here, and we had a mutual friend who was recording with him, and she wanted me to come to the studio and do some work on her record. And I was like, yeah, of course, I'll come hang out. And then I meet Sam, and then we just kind of like, when you meet a guy friend and you just instantly click, you're just like,
yeah,
like Jay and Silent Bob, like you're my hetero life mate now,
Yeah.
It was one of those situations. It just fucking broed up. Like I moved into his house for like 3 months, you know what I mean? And then he was like, "Oh, I got to go do Limp Bizkit. You want to come with me?" I was like, "Fuck yeah, I'll go do that." I'll go be I was thinking I was gonna be an assistant or something silly or simple. I'll go fucking do laundry.
Right.
So, and then I started getting these technical jobs, and then it just kind of progressed. So,
does the person who does laundry for Limp Bizkit hook up with the women at the show?
We all do our own laundry.
It sounds to me like if you know Fred Durst, pretty soon you're doing something.
Yeah.
They're handing you an instrument and say, "What do you got?"
Yeah, exactly. You've been on stage before, kid? Fucking get up there and knock them dead.
You're singing lead on the 3rd song. Practice.
Yeah, exactly. Just follow the prompter.
Well, that's crazy, always man. Great to hear.
I met so many weird people. We were hanging out with Tom Green for a while and Nick Swartzen, like I said, and Fred was really good friends with Bill Paxton.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they were like really tight. And I remember smoking weed with Bill Paxton the day I went to Universal Studios, and like they have a big cutout of Apollo 13, and I was like, oh shit, I fucking just saw this guy like in the theme park, and I'm fucking smoking weed with him.
That's
It
hilarious.
was actually at the same taco place. We had dinner at the same taco place. I wish I could remember
smoking
the name
weed and eating tacos with Bill Paxton.
Living the dream, bro. Living the dream.
Dude, that is the dream.
Yeah. I gotta tell you guys a funny comedy story. You'll appreciate this. So we're hanging out with Tom Green a bunch. Right before he started doing stand-up, he was like, he'd come to Fred's house and practice his stand-up on friends and whatever. So he'd basically give us shows in the backyard of his material, and it was awesome. We got to see it. And then there was one time we're sitting on like a little patio table, and for some reason I started going off on this like Olivia Munn is the hottest girl of all time. Like,
oh yeah, I totally agree with you. She is so beautiful.
Yeah, she's amazing. So I'm like talking, and I see Tom slowly reach in his jacket and pull his phone out, and like slowly put the table on the phone on speakerphone, And I look down, and he's fucking calling Olivia Munn from his phone. So, and I'm like, all right, motherfucker, I'll one-up you. So I grab the phone, and it goes to voicemail. I was like, leave a message. And then I just start breathing fucking heavy like it's fucking serial killer. I'm like, oh, Olivia. Oh, my God, I want you. And then Tom's sitting there laughing his ass off. And then he realizes, like, oh, fuck, that's my phone. And then he snatches his phone out of my hand. He's like, that's pretty good. That's pretty good.
Tom's a good guy. I hung out with him one time with Jay Davis, the guy that was in that picture. Jay knows everybody. But yeah. I didn't know he knew Olivia Munn. Dude, she is so beautiful.
I didn't know either. Like, I knew at the moment.
Right. I did comedy at a Jay Davis was producing a comedy show at an adult bookstore, and Tom Green was there, and Orny Adams and Erica Rhodes, and we were all just hanging out there. And Tom gave me his number that night, and I texted him a few times, but I always lose phone numbers. But he was definitely a cool dude, man. So
yeah. We had some funny stories at Tom's house that we'll talk about another time. But,
well, we can talk about it in the after party if it's stuff you can't talk about on the show.
No, it was nothing bad. It was I'll tell you. Fuck, I don't give a shit. So we would basically, me and Sam Rivers, the bass player from Biscuit, we would go and hang out at Tom's house, and we just smoke weed and just talk about life and make beats and whatever. Because Tom's a huge music guy. Because he used to be signed to a record label. Actually, if I remember correctly, he was a rapper.
Really?
In Canada. Yeah.
What?
So we would like make songs, and he would rap over them. And then one day we're just fucking higher than eagle balls, just smoking up weed. And he goes,
higher than eagle balls.
he goes, man, we should make some fake UFOs and just launch them off the house. Because he lived in the hills at the time, and launch them off the house and see if people call UFO reports. We're like, that's a great idea. Thinking like nothing of it. The next day we get to Tom's house. He went and bought dowel rods and like fucking masking tape and these little jelly LED rings and a helium tank and balloons. And like, so we're sitting in his kitchen like trying to figure out how to make these weird shapes and make them buoyant enough, and then put LED rings in it, little jelly rings. And we climb up. He had like a Costco ladder that went up to his roof, and we like launched these things off his fucking roof and just let them float down to the 101. And then we'd go back inside and just wait for fucking police reports.
That's fantastic.
That's awesome.
We probably did that for a good 2 hours, and then we just like sobered up. We're like, we gotta go, dude. So yeah, Tom's a fucking awesome guy.
Yeah, he's a nice guy. He's a nice guy. So what are you working on now?
This moonshine at the moment.
I was gonna say cracking the code on opening a fruit roll-up.
Yeah. I just put out some stuff at the end of last year, and I scored a movie, which I always wanted to do.
Really?
And I put out like a little vanity project just for myself on iTunes. Yeah, I scored a movie. I had a friend of mine who was a local director who filmed a movie with Camille Keaton from the original I Spit on Your Grave.
Okay.
And it's like a home invasion thriller. And he's like, hey, you want to score the movie? And I was like, fuck yeah, I want to score the movie. So I ended up doing that. And it was bizarre because I was like nervous about it. I talked to other people that have actually scored movies, and it was nothing like that. I had my own unique experience with it. But yeah, it was awesome.
It's not like DJing. It's not like DJing.
Oh no.
I mean, you got to. Yeah. What kind of movie was it?
It was like a suspense thriller.
Okay, so you got to have all that undertone, all the subtle, like the music that builds the suspense and all that kind of stuff. It's a lot of work.
Yeah, it was a lot, and like just kind of going to, you always hear artists say like, oh, I went to this dark place to like make this stuff. And I was always like, whatever, motherfucker, you smoke some weed or something, you know? And after I did that, I was like, oh, I had to go to a dark place mentally to do that stuff. And like, and I can't really listen to it now because it stresses me out because, you know, it's all suspense music. Like, I'm not trying to listen to that, like, to chill out, you know?
You're not going to play that at a club.
Yeah, no.
It really is such a powerful, powerful connection you make to music. Like the commercial that they have that says sense is the strongest, smell is the strongest sense tied to your memory. But I actually think it's music. I think if you play a song for somebody that's 90 years old from 82 years ago, one line in, you just pick it right up because
absolutely.
It flows. It does tie in. So it makes sense that if it was through a dark time in your life, that music would bring strong emotions.
Yeah, absolutely. Have you seen there's a video floating around either on Facebook or YouTube, and it's this old, it's probably like 93-year-old woman who was like in an orchestra or something, and she was playing piano again for the first time, or hearing like the piece that she used to play all the time, and you could just, you know, she's very old in her chair, and then she hears it and just lights up like a kid, and it's a beautiful video. But it's exactly what you're saying. You know, she heard it and went back to that place and was like, amazing, absolutely amazing.
If you were going to score a horror movie for people like Kevin, you would play the very suspenseful music with a lot of chewing.
Yeah. Oh, I would just record like foil wrappers nonstop and like straws and McDonald cups going just the whole time.
All right, so where can people find you?
I'm on Instagram at Franko Carino, and I'm on YouTube, and I'm on Facebook, and you can find a lot of my music on all my music actually on iTunes, on Apple Music. I'm pretty sure I have stuff on Spotify, and Spotify and yeah.
Is that your Twitter handle at Franko Carino?
That is my Twitter handle. No, that's my Instagram. That's
Instagram.
Both.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can people
actually
buy
all my stuff is that.
Nice.
Very nice.
Nice.
Very nice.
I got lucky.
All right. So we want you to hang out because obviously you know Anthony. So for the end, but we're gonna bring out our next guest. But dude, hang out and obviously hang out for the after party, and then we'll talk some more. Yeah. All right. Cool, man. All right. So
That's great.
That was our producer accidentally coming into the show.
Franko, he was a great guest. I would be willing to let him eat rice pudding.
Really?
Oh,
You'd listen to it?
Your basic soft foods that don't make any noise. I'd be like, sure, you could have rice pudding while we hang out. Not a big deal.
All right, I'm very excited to bring our next guest on. He was such an incredibly funny guest the last time. I'm so happy to have him back. He's a Georgia-based author who has topped the best thriller list on Apple iBooks. He was placed in the top 20 best books on Amazon. He went on to win the International Thriller Writers Award for Best First Novel, as well as the Southern Book Prize for Best Mystery. Please welcome Brian Panowich.
Oh, hello. Nice. Hello. How's everybody?
What's up, buddy?
How are you?
I'm good, man. Hey, dude, you don't have no idea how much noise I can make with some rice pudding. No idea. I don't even know how you knew that was happening 30 minutes ago. You got a thing going, Kev. Man, I missed you, you sexy bastard.
Let me tell you something. If the rest of it, if everybody could just leave us alone for a few minutes, I think that would be the best result that we could have right now.
Right? I mean, that was like a fucking virtual tantric thing that happened last time, man. It went on for hours. It was incredible.
I don't need to know what you guys did together after the show.
Danny, don't act like you weren't there, man. You're trying to block it out because it was some kind of traumatic experience, and you're trying to put it in part of your brain that you don't have to think about. But you were there, bro. I remember them.
I know. Why do you gotta make me relive it, Brian? Really?
My job. Hey, before we get into anything, can I just say, Franko a second ago was talking about where his music is available. Everybody who is listening to this, and tell your friends, listen to his music on Apple Music if you're going to use a streaming service. Don't use Spotify because they don't pay anybody jack shit.
Oh,
Pick one of like Franko's tunes on Apple Music and just put it on a loop and set it down at night. And just if you're not into it, even if you don't like it, just turn it down, man. And the streams, he'll make some cash. Versus Spotify, who wants to like stick it up the ass of everybody who makes music for a living. So I'm done with the public service announcement.
So we shouldn't be advertising our show on Spotify. We should be advertising
if you're getting your dollars from them, then fuck right, you should be.
We're not getting any dollars.
Well, then I'll talk all the shit I can about it, man. Yeah.
No, we just got on iTunes, so I'm very excited that we're on iTunes right now. So
awesome, man. You're almost as famous as me, Danny.
Not even close. Not even close.
In fact, I love how like my green screen back here. This is my green screen of a very unsuccessful writer. What do you think, man? Like I looked for it and I was like, what can I find that makes it look really shitty? And I found this. So
hey, it's better than any place I've ever lived. So
well, I don't really live here. I break in to use the internet, man. You know, the people that do live here, if they found out, they'd freak out, but you know, whatever.
Dude, by the way, I started reading your book, man. I've read about half of it, the first one. It's phenomenal. I mean, I was blown away. The style, not just the style, but the way you describe things, the way the God, it's just, I feel like I'm there. You know what I mean? You shocked me. There was some shocking moments where I was like, you know, he's about to shoot that deer, right? The kid is about to shoot that deer. Yeah. And all of a sudden you hear two shots and you're like, oh fuck, did he really just do that? I mean, dude, and then you go back and you talk about we were talking about this the last time, but the way you portray a character and then you jump back to a period in their life earlier and you see why they're the way they are. And it's a generational thing too. That's the other thing that makes it's like very complex and very, it's about these still operators on this mountain that have been moonshining for years and years, and they don't want to sell the land. And then he gets involved in drugs and all this kind of stuff. And it's just a phenomenal story. And I think it should be a movie. Susanna was talking about that she's going to help you turn it into a movie. Is that what you're working on?
Yeah, we talked about it. By the way, thank you for your kind words, Danny. That's awesome. If you actually felt like you were there, then I did my job. You know, I can actually relate to what Franko was saying earlier about, you know, the live entertainment versus the entertainment that you create and you give to the world from like a small room like this one. And it's a really, like, I don't know, it's a bizarre place to be in because you don't feed off of anything else. You know, you create it and then you put it out there and hope that people can relate to it and be a part of it. Whereas with like live music or performance art or the stage theater or what you do, man, I mean, you like you said, you read the room, you give them exactly what and it's a rapport between you and the people directly fucking within your line of sight. What I do is I have to create this thing, put it out there and hope to fuck that the people that are looking at it can relate. So, I mean, the best compliment you can give a writer is, man, I felt like I was inside it. Like I was right there. So
dude, I really did. I really felt like I was walking with them and they were stalking the deer. And I was shocked when that happened. It was just,
well, it's funny. When most people meet me, they're like, "Oh, you do what for a living, man? You know, you write literature." And I'm like, well, fuck you. And then I have to, it's almost like I have to prove myself. It's fun. I was just talking to my daughter about this earlier today. She's 16 and much smarter and funnier than me. You should have her as a goddamn guest. But she was like, Dad, I mean, everybody thinks that you're this brooding crime writer who sits with a candle, Edgar Allan Poe style, and goes to these dark places. And man, I'm so not that way. If you go to like any of my social media, you'll see I'm a fucking clown, and it's a way for me to I guess like balance the life, like I can write these really intense scenes and then go make a meme with Ben Affleck holding my book up saying that he loves me, and that is an actual thing too. And I'm going to be putting up Ben Affleck memes for the rest of the week to celebrate the launch of the paperback of the new novel. Just because
tell us about that.
Where can people buy the novel? Let's talk about that.
Anywhere.
Well, let's talk about the novel first.
Yeah. I'll show it to you. Here you go. This is the new one, Hard Cash Valley. Let's see if we get without the light. Yeah. And it's the perfect girth to hold up a wobbly dryer, right? I mean, if you have a dryer that's making some noise, you can slide it in there.
Come on, dude. Wait a minute. Hold on. Your writing is phenomenal. It's not just something. No, it's look, I wouldn't say it. I wouldn't say it if I didn't mean it, dude. Your writing is phenomenal. I mean, it's highly intelligent, and it describes, it puts you into the minds of people that you would never even understand or comprehend if you weren't involved in it. It's amazing that you're able to get into the minds of these characters.
Well, I mean, a lot of them, Danny. And have you ever sat down to write a bit, man, based on some fucking dude that you met and know very well, and then you just like, I don't know, expanded on that and made it larger than life because that one little thing or quirk was funny, and you made it an entire bit. I mean, that's essentially what writing is, man. It's like you go and see or experience things, and then you just polarize them and blow them up larger than life. And gosh, what somebody said, you hyper realize it until it sucks somebody in, and then they're involved in the story. And when they feel like they are, because these people that I write about are not, like, I'm not necessarily saying I hang out with a bunch of thugs and murderers and meth dealers, but I mean, I'm not saying that either. You know what I'm saying? Right. It's a fine line. But you take something that somebody says, and then you're like, wow, what's the extreme of that? And then boom, you have this character. And then as I develop these characters, I just have to figure out how you're still going to like them. Because if you were talking about Superhero Day, right?
Yeah.
Earlier,
yeah.
Right? And as wrong as you are, because Batman has his own day and Superman has his own day, all these other jackasses like Moon Knight and Daredevil, they need their fucking day too. It's like it's like a President's Day for all the losers. It's like for the B-listers. Do you know what I mean?
If you have a superpower, every day is your fucking day.
You're goddamn right, man. My superpower is my love for you, Kevin, and rice pudding.
Brian, I think you could not help yourself but be compelling in any type of method of communication that you did. I think if you wrote the description of food on a menu, it would be compelling and interesting and a little gritty. This fucking chicken, you're going to punch your dining companion in the throat for this chicken, and not just because they're chewing fucking loud.
It's very interesting that you make that comparison, man, because I have recently become a fucking huge fan of David Chang. Are you aware of who this man is? He came out of nowhere with all these fucking mental problems and depression and anxiety, and he created this restaurant and just said fuck it and threw all caution to the wind, and now he's rolling in it, man. He's like Mr. on top of the world in the restaurant industry with Momofuku, which is just like a way he made up of saying motherfucker, which is something I would do. And I was like, God damn, this dude's I think I'm gonna open a restaurant now. Fuck it, I'm done with writing. I'm gonna open up a restaurant.
Let's do it. And I got a great idea.
Rice pudding.
We're gonna do
Kevin, you can't How are you going to open a restaurant,
I'll
Kevin?
be
You
in the
can't
kitchen.
listen to people chew.
We'll do healthy versions of things and unhealthy versions of things, like
Right.
broiled chicken and then fried chicken. So we'll do the
God.
good and evil, the restaurant of good and evil.
How about this, man? We'll take it a step further. Do you want just the fried chicken, or do you want fried chicken ball sack? You know what I mean? Because if you're going to go for it, let's go for it. You know, we're offering shit, man, that people are not supposed to eat. That's where it's at, Kevin, right there. You know?
I think you're right. I'm going to be frying ball sack in no time.
I am right now as we speak. Look, now think about it, man. Like right now, we could be either having a rack of lamb or deep dish yak dick. You know what I mean? And that,
and let me tell you something.
That's what's going to make us famous.
And you know why we're going to get rich? Because you're going to write a compelling story about the powers that yak dick is, that the ancient Peruvians ate yak dick because it was said to give them lovemaking prowess, and we won't be able to keep that shit in the fucking stock shelves.
Dude, I don't have to.
I'm about to yak right now.
You just gave it to me. Danny, what I say? Somebody says something quirky, and then you just take it and run with it and hyper realize it. Well, Kevin just gave me my entire menu.
There you go. There you go.
And I'm getting a soundproof booth.
And you don't even need to kill the yaks. You could just cut the dicks off.
Right. I mean, it's just in a deep dish. The yak, we walk the yak out on a leash, and it's in a dish. You know, just because we said dish doesn't mean it was.
And baked. You can say after you ate his dick, you can go out and pet the yak.
Well, not only that, but when their life ends, you have an angry yak section on the menu. So,
well, if you cut off their dick, they're going to be pretty angry.
That's why, and frankly, they're not going to mind death.
I gotta admit, this is why I love this show, Danny, because shit goes off the rails in a hot second, man.
And nobody's trying to bring it back either.
We're just going with the yak dick all the way. We're getting
your producer said, how would you like to come back on the show? And you're gonna come on, and there's gonna be the DJ for Limp Bizkit on there too. And I was like, man, let's think of my own private hell for a second. Let's think about that. What would it consist of? And if you read my books, you'll see that I refer back to Jacksonville as like this desolate shithole because when I was playing music, man, we would go there and it was so gray and ugly, and we always had a big fat sweaty crowd, but it was just so I come back. Everything bad in my books comes back to Jacksonville, and I was like, wow, that's where Limp Bizkit's from. And then my guitar player in the band at the time was a worshiper of Wes Borland, who was Limp Bizkit's guitar player. I'm not even sure if he's still with the band. I hope that he is, because that guy was insane good. And but the band itself was like, I'm older than that, you know, like my shit, like my taste developed prior to that. So rap rock in Jacksonville, and Zima's now. And the very first thing you guys talked about was Zima's, which brings me back to this like horrendous situation that happened with one of my very first girlfriends, who wanted me to bring her to a gas station and buy her some Zima and Jolly Ranchers, because she was going to take a Jolly Rancher and drop it in the fucking Zima bottle, right? Because that was a thing, right? I don't know if it was a fellatio thing or not, Kevin. I know what you're thinking, but
now we got Zima and yak dick for the restaurant.
With a Jolly Rancher in it, you know?
With a Jolly Rancher.
Yeah, that's what makes it important. So I was thinking, man, that would be my ideal hell, would be stuck in Jacksonville, drinking a Zima with a Jolly Rancher in it, man, listening
eating yak dick
to early to middle 90s rock and roll. And then I get on and I'm like, holy fucking shit, man, this is going to be great, because this guy's cool as hell. And, you know, Danny's making it fun. Kevin's fucking ridiculous as normal. And now it's almost like this comforting thought. Now I want to revisit all the things I thought were bad and see if they work for me now. You know?
I want you to think of Jacksonville as the gateway to St. Augustine, and I want you to drink the Zima and then smash the bottle over your own head.
I'm pretty sure I've done both. I can't vouch for the first one, But the second one, I know that I did. You know, when I went into that gas station and I'm standing in line with a fucking 6-pack of Zimas. This is before, I think they came in flavors at one point, but when they first came out, bro, that was just like Zima flavor, you know? It was fucking.
Well, they put so much into the freaking marketing of that thing, man.
Yeah, well, dude, and it was everywhere. And so I'm standing in line. I'm at a racetrack gas station. I remember, man, it's on a Friday night, man. I'm like 20 years old, no business in there anyway. And I've got Zima in one hand, and I've got a fucking bag of Jolly Ranchers. And I remember thinking, fuck my life. This is not what I want. This is not what I want. And I just put it on the counter and walked out the other door. I walked out the other door and just rolled out to the arcade that was about maybe 1.5 miles. And I left her and all her little buddies sitting in the fucking car. And I was like, I don't know what to do. You know, I don't even know. It was Zima, man. So now when I think Zima, I think, wow, man, that reckoning that happened in my brain where I was like, all of a sudden now I know that I can't do this with my life.
Oh, it's hysterical. Dude, I love it when you're on the show. So how can people get your book, by the way?
They can get it anywhere that fine books are sold. I would suggest, first and foremost, go to your local bookstore because they're probably struggling from this past year and a half, and try to get it from them. Or you can go to bookshop.org if you're not down with going outside yet, or if you don't want to scale around for a bookstore or a local bookstore, and they will direct you. That's bookshop.org. Just go to that website and then type in my name. It'll tell you who's local to your area. That way you can try to keep your local bookstores open. If that doesn't like work for you, then Barnes & Noble would be the next step, because Barnes & Noble has been very, very, very good to me. They're really good to their authors. They believe in the books they sell. They're not just a big, box store that doesn't give a rat's ass. I know these people intimately, so I would say go to Barnes & Noble. And then if you're a Kindle or a Nook user or something like that, man, then just hit it up online. I'm available everywhere. iTunes, I don't want to say it, man, but Amazon. I'm on Amazon. Hell, shit, they've been good to me. They sell books too.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm everywhere. If you just type in my name anywhere, you're going to be able to find it. Or if you go to brianpanowich.net, which is a good story, Kevin, why it's not brianpanowich.com. If you go to brianpanowich.net, you'll be able to find links to all of these places so that you can find your local bookstore and then move your way up the chain if need be. So, yeah, there it is.
Awesome.
Yeah, Susanna. You handle shit. Yeah, when I was fucking nobody, which was, I don't know, it felt like 20 minutes ago, and I guess I still am because, I'm on your show, Danny. You know what I mean?
No, this is how you know you made it. You're on my show.
Right?
This is how you know.
I bought my first website domain. I was like, okay, I bought my name, I owned it, like brianpanowich.com. I was so proud of that shit. I had a book come out, the one you read, Bull Mountain, and things seemed to be rolling for me, man, and I was great. But of course I didn't know what the fuck I was doing about most of it. So I let the website lapse, the domain name lapse. And some company swooped in and bought brianpanowich.com.
Oh, I hate that.
They tried to sell it back to me, Danny, for like $14,000.
That's what they do.
What? I mean, are you?
Yep.
And it was by like a couple of days too. And I was like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, am I that important? Am I 14? I'm worth $14,000.
Well, you got best-selling novels, so they're like, he can afford it.
Right. Well, I reckon so, man. And that's the thing, man, is that this green screen makes me look that way, But yeah.
Those picture frames are very fancy. I
was shocked to find out that there was a thing that people do, right? And so I lost my name.com to some corporation and thought that I was going to give them so now at least now I know what I'm worth. You know what I mean? I'm a 14-grander, Danny.
Some people buy domains and then they save them and they sell them for a lot of money. People make a living doing that. So
I talked somebody out of buying Coca-Cola.com, McDonald's.com back at the very infancy of the internet because it's just such a scummy thing to do.
They're probably very They probably hate you right now, Kevin, because they could have been rich.
You know that DannyMcDermott.com belongs to Kevin, and that's why he's making you work it off, man.
Right? That's why I can't fire him.
If you ever want your name back, you're gonna keep me as a sidekick, you son of a bitch.
All right, let's bring Franko back on because we're gonna do a segment before we go to Anthony. Franko,
what's up,
what's up, man?
We're having so much fun with our guests that we sometimes we forget about doing the segment, or we just choose not to do the segments. But I want to do this segment because this is a segment. I worked telemarketing for many years, and I came across many unfortunate names, and that's what this segment is about. Let's roll it. Unfortunate names. So these are names that they're actual names that people have that you're like, God, why do their parents name them this? Okay.
All right.
So let's go. First one, Gene Pool.
That's amazing.
If I had that name, I'd name my kids. What would I name them? Cess and Pocket.
and if my name was Gene Pool, I would have brochures from cruel nursing homes strewn about my room, starting at about 13 years old.
Well, they loved every time they went to a dinner because they had to be called pool party of 4. You know what I mean? So.
Right? Pool party of 4.
I'm a comic book nerd. I definitely would have named my kid Dead. Just so
There you go.
That's awesome.
All right, next one.
Oh,
Ernest
shit.
Loser. Okay. This is I was in New York and I was working at a telemarketing company, right? And I'm talking to my buddy and we're making calls while we're talking, right? So he wasn't paying attention and the person answered. So he spun around and that name came up and he goes, "Hi, I'm looking for an Ernest Loser."
How many people put their hand in the air?
The whole room started laughing.
God.
They all started laughing. And all of a sudden you hear him say, "Oh, I'm sorry, Loser."
Oh, shit.
That's
so that poor fucker's name is Loser, but it's spelled man.
Yeah.
Eat a bullet, dude. You're done.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
He's probably adopted already. Like he's just fucked out of the gate. Like,
hey, man, that for real. He's got kind of an inbred problem too. I think, man. See how me and Franko are fixing to come up with a character that's going to make it into the book, man.
We got it.
Hey, there you go.
Yeah.
It's Loser, you son of a bitch.
Yeah.
But you should have heard him trying to apologize. He goes, I'm so sorry. But he used the word "an Ernest Loser," which just made it.
Yeah.
Charlie Brown.
All right, next one. Moses Journey. That was just a very religious parent that they had the last name Journey, and they didn't want to name him "Don't Stop Believing."
Yeah, I was gonna say.
So who went on a big journey? God. Moses.
Yeah. Steve Perry in the burning bush.
Right? Andrew Thwett.
Drew
it's a guy with a lisp.
God.
Andy
I
Thwett?
really hope that guy's a lawyer. If that guy's a lawyer, that'd be amazing.
Hey man, I was just
call me Andrew Thwett.
First he hit me. Andrew Thwett.
You got sweat across the face or what, man? Just like slapped you, Kevin. Right?
You haven't been with a man until you've been with Thwett.
I think have you guys seen the history of swear words on Netflix? Have you guys watched that? Because it's some really fucking hilarious shit.
Yeah, I've seen some of it.
Did you see that, man, dude? Franko, by the way, I like how you disguised your booze in a coffee cup, motherfucker. You ain't fooling
when I was off camera, you're talking about moonshine. So that was just straight. Oh, wait.
I even put Jesus on my mug, man, so I wouldn't be judged.
No, but that's hilarious. Your book is about moonshine, and he's got moonshine.
I know, I love it.
Yeah, he started talking about it. I was like, this is so fucking serendipitous. I'm talking about Jacksonville and Zima. It's like,
God damn. You said serendipitous and gave me a hard on just now, man. I love those fat fucking words. Okay, no.
Let's not talk about your hard on. Let's move on to the next name.
Crystal Fountain.
Are we talking about my hard on still?
Crystal Fountain. Who would name their daughter that? Who would?
She's got to be. She's got to be the head waitress at Waffle House.
And,
that name.
And there's no doubt that you grew up in a double wide with a first name of Crystal.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a great stripper name.
I don't think you guys are being very fair to strippers here, man. Okay, they're gonna put in a little more effort than that. Okay.
Yeah, they're gonna call her Mercedes Fountain.
Right. Exactly.
Oh my God.
Dan, he knows, man. We're simpatico.
Yeah, the club I go to, it's a pre-owned Honda.
I met
next up on the dance floor, pre-owned Honda.
Lady Crump.
Lady Crump.
Is this a fucking real name?
That's a real name. Yes, that's a real name.
This isn't like a Mike Hunt, right? I mean, this is real shit.
This is real shit. Real shit.
Your parents, your mother fucked a dog, and she was just laying the groundwork in either way.
Oh man.
It's like they wanted her to be royalty.
Yeah.
We just found the name of our restaurant, Kevin. Your mama fucked the dog. Yep.
All right, next one. Ruth Bracegirdle.
That's heavy duty.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah.
Right? So you got scoliosis and a fat gut.
Yeah.
and the little Jesus in there too. They sprinkled a little Old Testament on your first name too. So you're fucked all the way around. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Hold up a liquor. You got to hold up a liquor store.
She works the deep fryer where Crystal Fountain works at. They work together.
Right. But that's when she's just Pam. She's got a Crystal there. She only goes by Crystal at the club, man.
Yeah. Ruth is on the grill. Crystal's up front.
There's so many jokes in that. I don't even know where to start, man.
Every single thing she cooks comes out in a basket.
Yeah.
Next one, right.
Including Danny's kid, man.
Kate Schatz.
Oh, Kate Schatz.
Kate Schatz.
Oh. Poor Kate Schatz.
I know, right?
That is graphic.
The last name that's
very graphic.
last name that's the what's the word I'm looking? God damn it, I can't remember my English. But it's the former
Diane Sawyer.
What's the word I'm looking for? It's a past tense of shit. That's what your last name is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that poor girl just wants to have chili cheese fries just once in her life. And not with that name.
Right.
I think
she's not allowed forever, because there's no way she's going to ever be able to get away with it without her friends saying, Kate's Schatz.
Which, her friends made fun of her until one day they got lost in the woods and they just followed the trail back.
I guess Kate Schatz is good to take camping.
Let's
Next one.
Hope that Kate Schatz is not eating stuff that squirrels like. You know what I mean? So it stays there.
How did you find her? It's what she shats. Wait, we did we have the Bob?
There's been a takeover.
Yes,
okay.
Bob Meth. Bob Meth.
I know that guy.
Do you realize if Bob Meth married Crystal Fountain, she'd be Crystal Meth Fountain?
God damn, if there was ever a dream girl out there, man, that's the one.
What's the over-under on that couple's number of teeth?
I like how you just said the over and under, you know what I mean? Because that's where I was going with it too. But you were thinking teeth and I was thinking other shit. Yeah.
Talking about teeth in the drawer or teeth in their mouth?
Well, when the fancy guests come over, the teeth come out of the drawer.
Yeah. Teeth
Oh, you
come
got
out
the
at
good
night.
teeth. You got the good teeth, right? Like the China.
Yeah.
You bring the good teeth out. I'm gonna pop in the good teeth.
These are my good teeth. You can tell because they're yellow.
Exactly.
You know, it's funny. I told my son about this segment tonight, and he came up with a bunch of other names. What was it? Mo Lester.
There you go.
I think they on the video games, a lot of the kids do these names, these type of weird names. My aunt was a parole officer in Swainsboro. Shithead was her name.
Are we talking to Alexa here?
Yeah, Alexa. Yeah, she's
literally
commenting.
doesn't know how to lie, so that's a fucking fact, right there.
Fucking Swainsboro up in Georgia.
Yep, come on down, brother. We'll fucking. I know crystal meth, man. We'll.
Yeah, I used to live in Savannah. I used to live in Savannah for a few years, so I know all about
Much
some
different than
Swainsboro.
Swainsboro, man. Much different.
I remember when her good teeth were 2/3 green.
I can still
On St. Patrick's Day.
All right, so that was our segment. That was our big segment for today.
Hold on.
guys-
Danny.
Yeah.
Give me one that you know. Give me somebody you've met and you were like, really? That fucking
Someone I met.
Anybody. Kevin, Franko. Because I was at the fucking DMV. No shit, man. I'm at the driver's place trying to get some shit handled. And the woman behind the counter giving me a ration of fucking nonsense. Her name is Latrina.
Oh, that's awesome.
And I'm like, were your parents
Are you serious?
military? Were they military? And she was like, why do you ask? And I was like, because they hated you. That's why. They fucking hated you.
There's
I-
the best I saw was a guy whose first name was Dick and his last name was Suck. So when he had to write his last name first, it got worse.
Suck
Hey,
it.
you know, that can kind of work out for you, man. Like I was talking about that history of swear words, man. There was a politician who ran. He didn't even give a shit about politics, but his name was Dick Sweat. So with a name like Dick Sweat, he knew being on the ballot, he'd win. And he did, man. Dick Sweat was a congressman for however many years because people thought that shit was hilarious. I'd have voted for Dick Sweat.
Dick Sweat. And let me tell you something.
Never go away.
You know Dick Sweat spends time in that stripper club we were talking about.
You know, I lived in Asheville, North Carolina for a little while, and there was this girl that worked at
Great
Kinko's.
Great town, Malaprop.
And yeah, it was a good place. There was a girl that worked at the Kinko's there, and her name was like Lexus, and I didn't even think anything of it. And then like one day I asked her, we started talking, I was chatting her up a little bit, and then she said her sister's names were like, they're basically other Toyota cars, and I can't remember exactly what they were.
Oh, that's funny. Scion?
But then I was like her other sister's name was like Solara or something. And I was like, are you fucking serious?
That's hysterical.
Did she have a little brother named Kemra?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Franko,
Their last name was Corolla.
Right?
The less they gave a shit about their kids, like the more that came along, you know, they just started giving them bullshit names. Like now you're
who names their
they were named after where they were conceived.
Yeah.
Can you
much.
conceive a kid in Louis?
Like Highlander. Highlanders when they had a little bit of money.
Yeah. I don't know if I could fuck in a Prius, man. I don't think that's a thing that happens. Has anybody tried that?
I mean, I'm willing to try for science.
When I was a teenager,
like I'll
dude,
find
when
out.
I was a teenager, I would have sex in any car. I didn't care.
Man, I'm the guy who set the Zima on the counter, bro. I don't know if I could have got in with the fucking Zima and the Jolly Ranchers into a Prius and actually had a good time. It'd have been angry sex at least. You know what I mean?
It's all right, man. You just set the tone. You put a little bit of Slayer on. It's all good.
Oh shit! Hey, you know what?
Just take some pop rocks before the oral sex.
Yeah, there you go.
I've never done that personally, but I would like to try it. So, Danny, you'll have to explain that to me in the after party, man, how that works. Franko, you had me at Kinko's. You're old school, bro. That's where we would go to fucking do our band flyers, man. We go to fucking Kinko's.
That's exactly what I was doing. I was like making CDs or like making little flyers and shit.
Okay, guys, we got to bring on Anthony because we're going late. I love this, but let's bring him on. This is our This is our main man.
Hold on,
He's
hold
our-
on. No, Danny, god damn it. Danny, Franko was fixing to show us some shit, and I want to see it. Then we'll go to.
I know. I was white. I spilled moonshine on the computer. I was just wiping it.
I'm sorry.
Sure.
What are the best parody or spoof movies?
What's up?
What's up, buddy? Woo!
Hello, everybody. How are you? How are you?
Good.
Looking good, my friend. How are you? How's the eye?
It's getting
You
better.
look a lot better.
Looks
You
good.
got
look a lot
got popped in the eye? What happened?
Yeah, by a fan. Susanna, do you have that on standby? I feel like every time until it's gone.
He was
Eating
flipping
off.
a duvet.
Shaking
Flipping
out a duvet.
Fluffing a duvet. Yes, I was fluffing a duvet.
That's code, by the way, for I was hammering Crystal Fountain.
I was in France. Fluffing. Anyway, long story short, that thing hit me in the fucking eye, dude. This quilt.
Oh, fuck. I heard this story. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, man. It was the dumbest freak accident ever. I feel like I almost want to nominate myself for like a Darwin Award that actually lived. People are fucking dumb. Like, I'm not even klutzy. And I couldn't even believe this happened. But, I see remnants of a war waged in the afternoon hours domestically.
They're fucking dad scars, bro. They just start coming out of nowhere.
Shout out to Franko's eye. You want to talk about that real quick? How's that do? Do you have drops that you got to?
Yeah, like forever. So I was in the middle of Costco when my son was like one or two, and just out of nowhere, little motherfucker grabbed my eyeball and sunk his nails into it.
Oh.
So forever, I have to have special medicated eye drops. I can't rub this eye too much, or else like I disrupt the scar tissue.
Oh shit!
So as soon as you said eye, I was like, oh, you got a fucking dad scar, bro.
Well, that's what's fucked up because the as you saw in that image, the weight of the pull chain where you grab hit me here, and the chain hit me here. So I was very lucky that I didn't lacerate my eyeball. I digress. By the way, I've got a sidecar co-pilot buddy of mine hanging out with me. Fuck, there he is. Boom, Michael Myers.
What's up?
Little hip hop artist, dude. He's releasing his 30th album
in October. And before, I have to tell you this, Franko, because this is how do I do this? There we go.
Good. Yeah.
So I opened up for. I was playing a show with this band that was a Limp Bizkit tribute band called Pimp Trisket.
Nice.
And it was the dumbest fucking thing, yet the best fucking thing ever. So
I just found this tribute band a couple days ago up in Chicago, and it's called the Fred Durst Experience.
Oh,
it got sent to me, and I was like, "This is fucking amazing! I got to go see these guys for real." Like they're all dressed in red hats and playing Olympus guitars.
Did the guitar player dress up like Wes, man?
They're all dressed like Fred.
Oh shit!
This one was like you literally had everyone playing the part.
It's awesome.
So anyway, that's my dumb little anecdote. But yeah,
Well, you're gonna be a guest on our show next month. So
hell yeah.
Yeah, so we're all excited about that too because
I hope so.
Yeah.
That's a sexy son of a bitch right there, Anthony. You need to have him back, man. I mean, look at that guy.
Stash.
He's like Weird Al Yankovic's little brother.
Being
No, man. Weird Al ain't got shit on that joker, man. Hey, look, man, you're a hot motherfucker. I'm gonna tell you straight. He's drinking juice like fucking gin and juice.
Something in juice.
He's not even trying to hide it like me and you, Franko. He's like, fuck y'all. I'm drinking this fucking gin and juice and don't give a
gin and juice. I was gonna say gin and juice.
By the way, Brian,
right,
good to see you, buddy. Good to see you.
Let's do these movies. Let's do it.
I've been missing you, Tony.
Oh, man. So, by the way, I'm literally because of your suggestion, and we'll get to the segment in a second. I almost put Spinal Tap. This is Spinal Tap on the segment this time, but I haven't seen a movie in probably 15 years, and B, when I was going through the whole spoof magma of it all, I was like, oh, that's mockumentary. That's a mockumentary segment leading with that. You know,
all right, man. Are you ready for this war now?
On me on that one if you're feeling it. And we can do a Christopher Guest thing.
I'm ready to go, man. I'm ready to go. Okay.
Cool. All right, so we should just dive into it. And by the way, Franko, I love you, bro. It's been a fucking hot minute since I seen you last.
I love you too, my buddy.
What do you guys used to
Thank
date?
you.
Did you guys?
Yeah.
You guys were on point. You guys know each
We're
other.
basically neighbors in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
That's how we met.
Trouble.
Awesome.
This guy and I. Yeah. Anytime like
Shout out to Playa.
Shout out to Playa. Anytime Frank and I hang out, it's always just a fucking. It's a guaranteed good time. I get a text or vice versa. I'm like, okay, whatever I'm doing tonight is going to include Franko because he's around. So
awesome.
Yeah, so we're either getting arrested or we're gonna be really hurting tomorrow. Regardless,
truly why I love this show, Danny. There's so much love here, man. It's awesome. Everybody becomes like part of a big family afterwards. It's pretty cool. Very cool.
Thank you, Brian. Thank you, man.
You know me forever, motherfucker.
Yeah, bro.
Dude. You're local. 2 hours away, 1 hour and a half away.
Yep.
Next time we can link up. If Franco's in town, we should do like just a trio thing, and I'll make it a quadruple thing. Boom.
As long as he doesn't mind going home with me, because it's fucking gonna happen, bro. It's gonna happen.
So we're gonna get to the segment.
I'm not coming on
segment, otherwise this will be 17 hours.
All right. That's
we gotta get going. Let's do this. Come on.
Okay,
we got an after party we can talk about.
Dude, fucking I'm gonna just start with one of the fucking baddest ass fucking spoofs ever. Fucking Monty Python and the Holy Grail. Basically, King Arthur trying to hook up his round table. He just goes on a series of misadventures, just trying to fucking beef up his posse. And this movie is fucking rad, dude. Like, it came out around the same time as, damn, Kevin, I'm getting better. Kentucky Fried Movie.
Right? Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And which at the same time, that's the Zucker brothers, by the way. Those guys are gangsters. But in terms of Terry Gilliam and company, Monty Python was just the shit. I mean, we all know what Monty Python is. But they did something different. They would fuck with credits. They would fuck with songs. Like a song in the background was an opportunity to make people laugh. So that's the funny thing about this film is like they didn't like no stone was left unturned in terms of comedic shit. So it's almost like when you're watching it, you almost feel like, holy fuck, how did I not see that? Like that's so obvious, but yet you would overlook it. And these guys were very fucking master geniuses in terms of comedy, spoof genre.
There's two parts of this movie that I freaking love, and I can't. The Knights of Knee, and then the Killer Rabbit.
Mm-hmm.
He's just a rabbit. He's just a rabbit. No, he's a killer. He's a killer.
I think my favorite is when the dude's running towards the two guardsmen, and he's in the distance. And the camera keeps cutting back, and they keep looking at him, and it goes on for 5 minutes. He's just still in the distance. It's almost like he's running on a treadmill, like fucking 100 yards away. And they just keep looking at him, and all of a sudden, bam! They get murdered by him, and then he just murders fucking everybody. John Cleese. It's just great. Yeah. So,
but the rabbit killing people was hilarious. He's just a little bunny rabbit. No, he's a killer. He would tear people apart.
Yeah, so we're gonna move on because I mean we can like dork out for 2 hours on all that shit. So Young Frankenstein, man, fucking Young Frankenstein,
yes,
yeah, dude,
classic.
Yeah, hell of a piece of work by Mel Brooks.
Igor.
Yes, yeah, Frankenstein.
You a fucking Igor.
He wanted nothing to do with his great grandfather.
Plus, put it on the Ritz.
Oh, dude, yeah.
Taco with put it on the Ritz.
Yeah. The
Incredible.
music at the end. Yeah, absolutely. But dude, he didn't want anything to do with his great grandfather's legacy, yet he inherits, the estate.
The Frankenstein, yeah.
Yeah. And it's just fucking a piece of gold. So we're gonna keep this going because
wait. This movie, you brought this up.
Terry Garr.
I actually had a conversation with a young actress about this movie.
You liar.
And I'm like,
conversation code, Danny.
It was when Gene Wilder died, right? And I go, oh my God, I can't believe Gene Wilder died. She goes, who is Gene Wilder?
What?
And I go from Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. And she goes, oh my God, Johnny Depp died? I go, no, the original guy, right?
18.
That's when you handle the Zima and you walk out the other door.
But it gets better. It gets better. I go, no, Gene Wilder. He was the original Charlie and the Chocolate Factory guy, right? And she goes, I don't know him. I go, well, he did Young Frankenstein. She goes, young Frank. I don't know, but I don't know what that is. And I go, well, it was where this. It was he was the son of Frankenstein, and he was designing this monster. She goes, was it black and white? And I go, yeah. And she goes, I don't watch black and white movies. And I go, no, it wasn't. It was meant. He did it. It wasn't like it was that old. It was a movie where he did it black and white. And I'm trying to explain it to her. And I go, it was a Mel Brooks movie. And she goes, who's Mel Brooks? And I go,
Jesus
Christ. I go, you should stop calling yourself an actress.
Yeah. Do you even act, bro? Like, you're fired at that point.
Halfway through that conversation, you
put it in your papers.
Like, hey, come get me the fuck out of here now.
Lifeline.
Yeah.
Lifeline.
Yeah, stop talking to managers at Hot Topic.
So,
boys.
Whatever. Franko's funnier than me. I don't like it.
We have a lot to get through.
All right, let's go. Keep going.
We should definitely lag now.
No, come on, go.
Relax. All right.
More code.
Blazing Saddles. God bless you, Susanna, for keeping us on par.
Speaking of Mel Brooks.
Oh, this is Mel Brooks in fucking half, dude. Dude, Gene Wilder and Cleavon Little fucking
genius movie.
No, dude. This movie's beautiful. And, there's been talk, it could never be made today. I think it could, actually, like, why couldn't it? There's some people are going to be butthurt over it. But the point of this film was, at the time, was, it was obviously race relations and so on and so forth, post-civil rights. But they're trying to upset this town, this Western town. And they totally
you chew that, I'm going to mute you.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. It's a beautiful piece of work by everybody involved. And there's not a mean bone in this movie's body from where I stand. Forget about the, comedic blatant racism, but like, the point of it was to fucking take it head on.
Racism, yeah.
Exactly. That's why Mel Brooks was a genius. No apologies. It is what it is.
Yeah, I still love the scene with the cowboys farting around the fire, but
it's so good. It's so good. And it's just like quintessential Mel Brooks. And I just love, like, even just his poster work. He puts himself in there. Yeah. It's like little Mel. This is Mel right there. Hold on, my finger.
Dude, when Cleavon shows up with that horse with the fucking Gucci bag and Count Basie playing in the background, I fucking lose it every time.
Love it.
It's so fucking funny.
That's my favorite artist, by the way, Count Basie and Clement.
Oh yeah.
Moving along,
he does the same thing with this one.
Spaceballs was fucking fantastic. At the end of the day, like, this was actually, it's kind of the one. I said this before, but it's kind of the first mic drop. Okay. Because there was meatballs, there was goofballs, okay? There was ski balls, fucking space balls, dude. Okay, are you kidding me, dude? Like, where else going to go from there? Intergalactic, and you know what I'm saying? Like, that was it. So this was one of the fucking kick-ass best parodies. I mean, you can argue the guy did it.
Wasn't Bill Paxton in that?
I don't know. If he was, I wasn't aware of that. It was John Candy.
Who was the main guy in that?
Who's easily
Bill Pullman.
Bill Pullman. I got it mixed up.
I get those two confused too, Danny.
Right?
I don't know why that is, but I do the same thing in my brain.
Yeah.
The guy from fucking Independence Day.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bill Paxton delivered the sweet message at the end of Independence Day that everybody can, like, stand together. It was Bill Paxton.
Okay. Yeah.
Bill Paxton wasn't. Bill Paxton. Oh yeah. Damn it! I'm fucking.
John Candy.
The same thing. Bill Paxton's on the spectrum, I think. He's like Skinner. He's like, I don't know. He's like a fucking trippy weirdo, man. I think I would enjoy his company.
You see Frailty?
Absolutely.
Yes. Fuck yes, man. Yes. So good. But Bill Paxton.
Schwartz. My last name's Schwartz, so my entire life has been nothing but use the Schwartz.
I see that your Schwartz is as big as mine.
Yeah. Like, my boss said that he hired.
That always reminds me of the scene in Skin Deep with John Ritter, where they got glow in the dark condoms, and they both, like, it's completely dark, but they're running around with their dick, their hard dicks with their condoms.
They're trying to, yeah.
Danny, here's to you for bringing up fucking John Ritter, man. Rocking.
I love that man.
My my old boss said that he hired me for the sole purpose that, oh yeah, now at boardroom meetings I can say, my Schwartz is bigger than yours, and I'm like, dude, that's such a dumb reason.
That's when you say like,
oh my God, is that,
but it's not.
Is that racist? In it, like, am I allowed to say that since I'm not Jewish?
No,
I honestly need to know. Because it's like my favorite fucking line in a movie, and I don't know if like saying that out loud, does that make me a fucking asshole?
No, it makes you a movie fan.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, good.
Yeah.
Fair.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, Mel Brooks is a pro at what he does. This guy has had a hell of a career. He's in his fucking damn near 90s at this point. Carl Reiner, his best friend, sadly just passed away. I think like last year or even.
Yep.
Yeah. So I hope Mel is doing well, considering that he had many nights post his career, even though he still dabbles and he still wants to get projects off the ground. Many nights with Carl Reiner as just kind of his lifeline, you know? So, you know, and his son, Max Brooks, is a writer, and I think he did World War Z.
Genius novel.
Yeah.
Fucking novel. Not the movie.
Yeah,
exactly. The book.
Isn't that trippy? Yeah, exactly. His son did, Max Brooks. Yeah. Wait, that's fucking.
I didn't
know that. So Mel Brooks, dude, king of spoofs, dude, king of spoofs. Here we go. We're gonna move on to the Zucker brothers. These fucking guys are fucking just the cream of the crop. Okay, especially in the '80s, specifically. This is a.
They look like variations of Seinfeld.
Fair. So we have David Zucker, Jerry Zucker, and then we have Jim Abrams right there. And Jim Abrams went on to do other kick-ass shit too, dude, like Hot Shots and so on and so forth. But these guys were badass, dude. So they did Airplane.
Yes, they did.
Yeah, these guys are badass.
Great movie.
Airplane is probably
amazing.
Hailed as one of the fucking best spoofs ever. I think
it's
totally
legendary.
Totally holds up, even though it's got that dated look to it. It's just like, okay,
it's still classic.
Dated, fine. Who gives a fuck? Because it's funny. I mean, I sent a graphic late into the game, but their attention to detail in this movie is like second to none. I don't know if we can get that graphic up real quick. Boom. You see that? Fucking whacking material.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Anthony, can I
modern sperm?
I've always wanted to shoot a music video where out of nowhere I just cut to a guy in a cab at LAX for no reason, just waiting there, and the meter's on like $10 million.
Yeah.
You know? And he's
See,
just
I
there
don't
like,
know if I translate because of Uber.
let me have my dream.
Can I ask you something, Anthony? Have you ever seen a full-grown man naked?
Have
you ever been inside a Turkish prison?
Yeah, like that was like the first grooming if I've ever seen, dude. Like a fucking pilot grooming a fucking 10-year-old kid in a PG film. He was going pre-PG-13. Moving on, dude. Airplane's fucking incredible. Top Secret is badass. It's a send up of spy movies. Val Kilmer is incredible. He plays a rock star who gets involved in this whole like situation. It's totally funny, totally underrated. Does anybody have any memories of this movie?
Very underrated. Very underrated.
You're gonna love it. You're gonna love it. Yes, sounds good. Moving on. Naked fucking Gun, dude. Zucker Brothers, probably finest big budget work. Okay?
Yeah.
Finest big budget work. Now, Leslie Nielsen was a dramatic actor, and he linked up with them. He was doing Police Squad TV show, which actually
such a good show.
Yeah,
TV theme song.
The shoe shine guy from that show is my favorite character on any sitcom ever.
His dramatic delivery was what made him so goddamn funny.
It was
exactly.
It was
comedy. It was genius. It was genius.
The greatest comedies are when the actors are serious with the situations, where they play it real. You know what I mean?
Yeah, play it straight.
Not the mugging, none of that bullshit, where they actually play it like they're really in the situation. They play it serious. And that's why he was phenomenal. That movie never would have made it without him.
They're actually talking about remaking this with Liam Neeson. I'm not saying it couldn't work.
I've heard you say that before, yeah.
I'm just saying this was lightning in a bottle right here.
Yeah.
And
I don't know why why would they remake it? Why don't they just do a new story? Do the same
fan base, and it proved successful before maybe a new audience will embrace it.
2 words, Danny. Cash grab, my friend.
Yeah.
That's what that is. Who gives a fuck if it's successful as long as they make their money?
Right.
They got.
But I feel like. I
don't want to see it unless OJ's in it.
But I feel like
what if they just re-released it? But
that would be the biggest fucking movie break of all time if they actually cast OJ in his place of OJ. I mean,
oh my god,
dude, there's no. I don't know what side of that you stand on. It doesn't fucking matter if they did that. Every soul on the planet would want to see.
Would want to see it. Yeah.
And the tagline should be: OJ had another wife, totally did not kill her.
As long as hey, listen, as long as you
back
for it, man, dude, I'd shell out $8 to the fucking theater to see it, man. Because holy shit, man, did they have the balls to do that? That'd be
wait a minute, $8. Are you gonna go to the movies in 1970? $8. Where do you go to? Where do you see a movie for $8?
Well, I first of all I torrent them and then I play them on the screen and charge my kids and I make $8. So
I charge your kids.
Yeah. Fuck them, man. They live here. They're gonna pay.
Popcorn's $20, kid.
Damn right.
I'd have more respect, kinda, if they re-released it, but like the extras have cell phones in the background to kind of update it. Like, all right, cool.
Like CGI cell phones or like actual.
Sorry?
There's randomly floating cell phones.
Yeah, there's like this green screen extras in the background. Like, yeah, we're current. We're current for the next month. We're fine. We're current. Oh, TikTok, great. Yeah,
no problem. I speak jive.
The George Lucas version.
Oh, leave it to Beaver's mom. Leave it to Beaver's mom.
Roger. That's a Victor.
I love it. Okay, we're gonna real quickly go on to the second one, only because I was fortunate enough when I was a little fucking kid to go on the Warner Brothers lot and actually watch this fucking movie be shot.
Wow.
What?
Yes, it was just, I was 13 or 14. It was a specific scene where he gets into a tank and he goes to a zoo and then he opens the lid, Leslie Nielsen, and there's a baboon. Ultimately, the final cut was a baboon looks at him. But what I watched was him trying to open the lid, and the baboon was supposed to like run away, and he had a fucking LA Dodgers baseball cap with bird seed in his hat, and off camera was a dude with a fucking cage that opened the cage, and the bird was supposed to peck the bird seed, and none of it was going well. The baboon was running all around set, and the set was it was on the lot, but it was outside, and I was like, this is the fucking coolest thing I've ever seen in my life.
Damn, that's so much cooler than anything I've ever done.
Oh, God bless. Dude, believe me, I still, to this day, I was like, when I watched that scene, I'm like, oh. So when I see the scene and he opens the tank hatch and he looks over and it's the baboon that just looks at him, that's because they couldn't fucking get him to control. They couldn't achieve what they wanted to achieve.
Right.
We just had to just deal with like,
real quick, I was wanting to ask you this real quick. We're both like Southern California kids, and do you think that kids that grew up in the 80s in Los Angeles are a little jaded at movies because we grew up around it and they're always constantly shooting? Like, you went to go see that, and I remember going to TV shows all the time and like going to Universal and like can't go see Courthouse Square because they're filming Back to the Future 2 at the moment. You know what I mean? Shit like that. Do you think we're a little like jaded as far as, or a little bit more in love with it?
Both. But I will say, I think my personality would be jaded just the same.
Right.
But, because like I was able to see, it's funny because like David Faustino is like a Facebook friend. We don't know each other. He's a Facebook friend. So he's posting all this like old memorabilia, long story short, of Married with Children. He was talking about Sunset Gower Studios. And I happened to be lucky enough to watch the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air shoot a fucking entire episode with no audience, and I was the only kid in the audience watching it, and it was the coolest thing I'd ever seen. Everybody was hilarious.
My mom works right across the street from that studio.
Oh, cool, man.
Yeah, I just want to know, did Leslie Nielsen really do that split?
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. And no, we're not going to hurry me up. We're going to keep going, bro. Anyway,
that was really sneaky of you, Danny. But
moving along.
I'm trying to help Susanna. I'm trying to help.
He did not fall for it. Anthony knows your game, man.
You just jumped heavily. Okay, so Team America, which is more on the later of my list.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Which you worked on.
Well, we're doing
Yeah.
Which
I
Anthony
think
worked on.
He's gonna kill me. I'll just talk. Okay, I'll just talk about it. Tim Burton is one of the creators of South Park, and it's really cool. The end. Basically, they wanted to spoof action films, and it's funny because, like, in the beginning of the production, they were and they're on record, especially the special features of the DVD. They're on record of being like, clowning Jared Bruckheimer and this and this and that. And halfway through, they were like, "Man, dude, fucking making action films is really difficult. Like, we have a lot of respect for Jared Bruckheimer. It was pretty fucking hard because it was kind of, I don't want to say it was a shit show, but it was fucking difficult. I was a post-production PA on this movie, so I was able to be like, like a kid in the distance, helping out here and there, but like nerding out mostly. And so it's a hell of a piece of work. If you haven't seen it, it's basically puppets, setup of action films. What are your thoughts?
That's awesome.
I saw it 2 days after my bar mitzvah.
Yes. Did you talk to your mom into seeing it? Or?
No, I talked to my friend's mom into seeing it, and when it got to the puppet sex scene,
Puppet fucking, man.
Go, and I was like, "No, we're fucking staying. We're fucking staying."
So did you?
This is cinema.
Did you get it on with your best friend's mom after the puppet fucking?
No. You just thought that I was, because I'd been bar mitzvahed, I must be a man and I must be respectful or some shit, because it didn't work.
Well, damn that, man. That was your opportunity. You had puppet fucking and you had your best friend's mom.
No, I fucked
That's like a perfect storm of love, dude.
You could have used your hand to get her to say things.
Yeah. Much more funnier than what I was going to say, believe me. If we can, let's go back to the.
Let's just not get into finger puppets and keep
Let's
going.
go to the Wayans family if we can. The Wayans family. There's a group photo, I believe. Hopefully, I didn't say everything out of order, but yeah, the Wayans family. I mean, we all know the fucking Wayans family. The fucking comedy dynasty. These cats. And one of their first feature films was "I'm Gonna Get You, Sucker." Okay, I don't know if anybody's seen that, but that movie's shit.
Awesome.
Yeah. 2 ways out.
Yeah, and
absolutely.
It was rated R, which there you go. And I think I could be wrong. The previous rated R film that was as heavy was maybe Kentucky Fried Movie, which is,
I love that movie.
Great movie. That and The Groove Tube. 2 best movies of the 70s.
What was the other one? Groove Tube?
The Groove Tube. Yeah, absolutely.
I must put it on the list. Yeah. I want to save that for the Chevy Chase segment. But yeah, man, I'm Gonna Get You, Sucker was so fucking not only quotable, but like it just came out of nowhere. And if you haven't seen it, get on it. And the Wayans family in general are just comedic geniuses. They went on to do In Living Color, which I think is personally murdered SNL. Fucking murdered SNL. In fact, I watched a few of these 2 months ago, and I was just like in stitches, like revisiting shit from the early 90s. I'm like, this shit fucking works. None of it.
Absolutely.
I was emceeing a show at the comic strip, and Damon Wayans came in, and I was supposed to bring him up. And I talked to him. I said, "What do you want me to say?" He goes, "Say whatever you want."
Nice.
And so I'm like, okay. So I'm talking to the other
movies with Steven Seagal. Don't do it, David. Don't do it.
No, but what happened was I was talking to the comics. I told them what I was going to do. And they were all like, "You're not really going to do that, are you?" I go, "Yep, I'm doing it." He said to say anything. So they're all like peeking in. They're all like looking in like this. And Damon's sitting at the back. And the audience has no clue what's going on. They don't know he's there. And I go, "Ladies and gentlemen, you may recognize this next comedian from Steel Magnolias and Little Women. Please welcome Damon Wayans."
He's like, "God damn it. All right."
Dude, he fell on the floor laughing.
Nice.
Damon Wayans did. He was literally holding his stomach and fell on the floor laughing that I said that.
I think clearly Damon Wayans has had a killer career, but I feel like personally, he's underrated.
I agree.
Man is
I agree.
All his work in Living Color is second to none. I mean, again, this is what they do.
And he was good in The Last Boy Scout with Bruce Willis.
That's an underrated fucking movie we could talk about all night if you want to.
Oh, let's go.
Yeah, I fucking love that. But I mean, Damon was the brilliance. He was the brilliance behind the whole thing, man. Damon, it was his vision. He was the genius in that family, man. He was I don't know, man. He was the guy who made that work. He is the least credited in my opinion. And you're right, man. I think that he's the one. And then, by the way, get the soundtrack for this movie because it's incredible. But that guy, he took chances and he created shit that did not exist prior to his making it happen, and that is genius in my.
I will say, in terms of Last Boy Scout, which is a great bring up.
Get a dog.
Get a dog. Written by Shane Black. It was probably one of the most expensive sales, $1.75 million for a script.
Wow.
It was unheard of. Shane Black didn't work after that. Not that he didn't want to. It's just like his price tag was so high that they were just like, oh, we're just going to leave him alone. There's other things to watch. Yeah. But
we should do a whole episode about that film because it's one of the most underrated action movies of all time. And it's fucking brilliant.
So I ran into Taylor Negron, who was the bad guy. He's a comic, as y'all know.
Yeah.
And he was the bad guy in Last Boy Scout. And I ran into him at a 76 gas station with two friends of mine. Dre was one of them. He may be watching right now. By the way, Franko, I imagine you got his text. Okay.
Yeah, I was just looking at it. Yeah.
So,
Dre, what's up?
Yeah. So Dre and myself and Mike Martinez, another friend of mine, ran into Taylor Negron, and my friend Mike goes, we're all talking, hanging out at the pump. Long story short, we stayed there for 45 fucking minutes talking with Taylor Negron, who was the bad guy again in Last Boy Scout. And Mike goes, "I am the bad guy," which is the quote from Last Boy Scout. And Taylor Negron corrected him. He goes, "I am the bad guy." On air and so on and so forth. And I got to tell you, and I know I'm deviating from the fucking parody thing, but Taylor Negron was one of the most badass, I think, villains in cinematic history. One of the most badass villains in cinematic history, because he just came and then he just went. I was surprised that he actually didn't get booked for other hardcore roles. But again, that's another segment. Moving on. Don't be a menace to South Central while drinking your juice in the hood.
Yes.
Anybody?
Message.
Keenan Ivory Williams right there. Yeah. This movie's totally fucking rad, dude. It totally holds up. It's fucked up. It's a great piece of work. If you haven't seen it, it's just a spoof of all the hood comedies. And it's awesome. And that's it.
It's also on the coattails of the fucking guy who created the opportunity for them to do it, who is their older brother, Damon. So
there you go. There you go. Boom. So these cats went on to other work, but Scary Movie was the first thing they did. And it's pushing forward with their rated R roots. You've seen this movie, of course. What are your thoughts?
I mean, Officer Doofy is the best character ever. It's especially the part where he's when you think that he's spoofing on, was it David Arquette? And you're like, David Arquette kind of is just this dumbass.
But you're right. You're right. In the film.
You know what though? He got Courtney Cox when she was hot.
Well, I'm a David Arquette. In the film.
David Arquette rocks, man. He's a great actor, dude. I'm sorry. I'm a fan. Yeah.
No. I love David Arquette.
Yeah, we both do.
I'm just David Arquette is so goofy and Scream that when you're watching Officer Doofus being David Arquette, it's just fucking hilarious.
Yeah, because he takes it seriously.
Yeah.
It's just like that.
I was very upset when they cut off Shannon Elizabeth's head. I had such a crush on her at the time. And they cut off her head. I was like, no.
I got to be honest, that was my least favorite scene.
Right?
No, because she was the most. I mean, God bless her. I enjoy her work.
But it wasn't that funny because it was she was talking. I got the gist of it.
No, it was just annoying. It was annoying to listen to. Oh, I'm a gross head. And she's freaking out. Throw that shit in the fucking gutter, dude. Let's move on. Sorry to be it's just a terrible scene.
I agree with you. That scene sucked.
But you know what?
Also, how many people did the "was up" thing after that fucking movie?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Did Rito start that? I couldn't.
Was
Yeah. But I will
Wasn't
say
that Budweiser? That was a Budweiser.
I'm pretty sure that Budweiser did that. They capitalized on it and made it huger. Yeah.
I will say this, in terms of the Shannon Elizabeth death scene in Scary Movie, pit that against the fucking Black Knight in Monty Python, who keeps going.
Yeah.
Come on. Black Knight murders that scene.
Black Knight.
Yeah.
Or if you want to talk about like I don't know, decapitation, let's talk about Gwen Paltrow's head in a box, because that makes me happy. You know what I mean? Like that's a thing that I can dance around the room to and do pirouettes. You know what I'm saying? So
fair.
Well, and then you could light a candle that smells like her vagina.
Hopefully it'll smell like a box in 7. That's what I'd rather have.
Do you remember that? She sold candles that smelled like vagina.
And then
it was
exploded. They exploded in people's
I know.
houses. Could you imagine having fucking Gwyneth Paltrow's pussy explode in your home?
All these lonely guys are like lighting candles at home going.
It smells like cotton candy.
I don't know.
It smells like entitled bitch.
Scary Movie 2.
Cotton candy. Cotton candy.
I hope you're a fan of Danny's Gwyneth, because I just fucked that all up for you.
Scary Movie 2. I beg of you. Scary Movie 2. I beg of you.
All right, next movie.
Scary Movie 2 is fucking awesome. I actually find it to be funnier than the first.
Has David Cross in that?
Yeah,
and Tim Curry.
Oh, absolutely.
And
Chris Elliott. Yeah.
My germs.
Yeah, my germs.
I just find it to be funnier than the first. And the first one's clearly a better made film. But like the second one, I don't know. It just fucking works for me. It's just like tripled down on their shit. I remember watching it in the theater, and there's a scene in the beginning where James Woods, I believe, is like, they're spoofing Exorcist. And he goes to sit down and bless the room. Okay, and cleanse the demons that are taking over him. And he just shows him sitting on a shitter. And the camera goes wide. It's a frame joke. He's just taking a shit. There's flies coming in the room. I was the only person in the theater laughing and crying for like 5 minutes. Nobody fucking gave a fuck. But that's Repossessed. I think, which is another movie I overlooked, which you all should see. But yeah, dude, Scary Movie 2 is fucking badass. Let's move forward. Fucking Hot Shots. Anybody?
Absolutely.
Hot Shots?
Absolutely.
Oh, wow, yeah.
This is one of my favorites.
Absolutely.
Yep.
I think we skipped over the fact that Scary Movie 2 should have been, hey guys, this is David Cross. Welcome. Because that's what it was. I walked out of the theater thinking, holy fuck, man, who is that guy? And didn't have a smartphone. And then I like spent my life worshiping that fuck. So
Run.
I guess that's why I wasn't watching Hot Shots, because I was.
Dude, when he takes his glasses off and the eyeballs just fucking.
His eyes are.
And that's Run, Run is Bob Odenkirk too.
Yeah. Oh, Bob Odenkirk. Nobody. Have you seen that? Please tell me. What do you think? Goddamn best goddamn action movie of the fucking year, right?
I want to see it. I haven't seen it yet. Don't spoil it.
It's not awake. It's very good. Hardcore Henry.
Oh, so what movie is this from? Oh, look at me. I'm all dead. I'm a gross, scary, severed head. Come on, please. Do you know who I am? I'm Miss Teen. Ah!
That was Susanna's face.
Susanna face on Shannon Elizabeth's.
Yeah, I have no idea, dude.
We're going back in time because I was going through the Wayans brothers, but we're going back in time. Fucking Hot Shots is dope. It's a spoof of Top Gun. It works on every level, in my opinion. It's also, nostalgic as shit. People like Hot Shots too, and it's got moments. Don't get me wrong, it's fine. I think they should have rounded out with a part 3, but
Before Charlie Sheen lost his shit, it was actually good.
Well, he's back. He hasn't lost his shit. He's actually on a better path now.
Who's the chick in that movie, Anthony?
Sorry?
Who's the girl in that movie?
She was amazing.
I've never seen this movie.
Valerio Galino.
Oh, she was so...
All right.
Hold on,
So
Daniel,
beautiful.
what do you think of her?
I like her as an actress, man, but I've never seen this film, dude. I'm sorry,
really?
You guys. I've never seen it. Yeah.
Oh, bro, dude, Brian.
I saw this was a parody of Top Gun, and Top Gun to me was a piece of shit. I'm sorry, bro. I know that we're probably gonna fight about that too, but
too.
So I was like, okay, so I'm gonna watch a parody of.
What's the other one that I missed that we were fighting about?
You know, well, I never know because it's kind of thing people get passionate about, you know, and I just, you know, I'd rather just hug, you know.
How you feeling? You're not wrong, but if you
I don't know. I want to see a Hot Shots fight. Let's hear. See how it goes.
No. If you don't want
Okay,
we're going down a ceiling fan thing and beat my ass with it.
I gotta reel this in a little bit. We're going on 2 hours now.
Great.
The
point is, Brian, if you don't like Top Gun, you should watch Hot Shots because they take the piss out of the entire film.
Yeah, you should.
Great.
You should.
It's fucking great.
Taking the piss doesn't take
you have my word. It will happen within the next 48 hours.
Enjoyable. It's totally fun. There's mean bones in its body, which is enjoyable. Yeah, like they're fucking with Top Gun hard.
I love hate.
In fact,
that's good.
I would say this. You don't have to. Okay? My recommendation is this. Build up your laundry so fucking hardcore to where when you have to fold it, you watch Top Gun. And then when you're done folding it, kick back and watch fucking Hot Shots. And then you'll appreciate it. Because you won't really be invested, but you'll get it, you know? But Hot Shots will fucking just like bake the cake for you and deliver the food.
What the fuck was that analogy? What the fuck?
That was
What's next? What's next? Let's go. Let's go.
What you said, that was so fucking sexy. Franko, was that not the sexiest thing that's been said all night? Right.
That was pretty good.
I'm just trying to hook you up, my friend.
Damn, dude.
I gotta say, Not Another Teen Movie is one of the better later. When I say later, because the spoof genre happened, you know, at a certain time, so on and so forth. In recent memory, 20 years ago at this fucking point.
Jamie Presley. Oh my God.
Yeah, Jamie Presley.
Jamie Presley.
I Love You, Man last night, which I've seen that movie like 17 times. Not Another Teen Movie is actually really fucking good. Has anybody seen it?
It is.
What is
I love this movie. I own this movie and I watch it all the time.
Yeah, it's fucking totally. It's fun. They did a good fucking job spoofing the fucking movies around that time. American Beauty. They even go into the 80s with fucking Breakfast Clubs.
Captain America. You never knew he was going to be Captain America.
You know, it's odd that I actually played foosball with him at a bar called Busby's. Franko probably knows.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I hung out. I hung out with him at the Laugh Factory with Dane.
LA is this LA?
That's all LA is.
People.
That's all. Yeah.
Dane Cook.
We're all famous.
As much as a lot of people give Dane Cook a lot of shit, but Dane Cook was always nice to me, and you know he introduced me to Chris Pine and Zachary Quintos. I mean, he introduced me to this Chris Evans.
What
Chris
did you
Evans?
That up, bro?
Huh?
You could have been on Star Trek, is what you're trying to tell me.
I was hanging out with Chris Pine, Zachary Quintos, Dane Cook one night. Dane Cook was always nice to me, man.
Dude,
he introduced me to these guys.
I was fighting on that Star Trek.
Whatever. Fuck it.
Oh, fuck.
Anyway.
Oh, dear God. Here comes the principal.
All right, no. All right. Moving on. Check it out. Shaun of the Dead.
Yes. Absolutely.
Getting into some fucking not only funny ass genre spoofing, but stellar filmmaking. No disrespect to any of the filmmakers previous, but you're getting to a visual artist here. And when I say visual artist, I mean the guy fucking made Baby Driver. I mean, this guy, Edgar Wright, is fucking totally talented. I can't stress that enough. Shaun of the Dead, you've all seen it. It's a great piece of work.
It's a great movie.
The end.
Good about that movie, but it's great. Yes.
Hot Fuzz.
Yes.
Dude.
Great movie.
Send up a fucking action films and Point Break and so on and so forth. I mean, dude, this movie's badass. Shot visually, perfect. The comedy timing is wonderful. And what's great is the international comedy is universal. I mean, I don't know how universal it is, but at least it is across the pond.
He's got a mustache. And he's like, oh, I know.
Yeah, let's not like so like if you live over here, you appreciate it. Well, if you live over here, no. It's fucking it transcends, especially since the fact that they're doing a send-up of American action films
For the greater good.
For the greater good. Moving forward. We were going to do Team America, but we already did that. So Team America, fuck that. So here's the Team America's
pal.
Come on, Susanna.
We already did that one.
Get your fucking shit together.
I could do a Team America story. All right, fuck it. Date movie. This is the downfall of the spoofs.
Really is.
Never saw it.
I'm drunk.
Good.
No idea. I've never seen
movie, epic movie, disaster movie.
You made this graphic yourself, man.
If you don't mind cycling through the graphics real quick. Date movie, there was epic movie, there was disaster movie. Basically, they were just cashing the fuck in. And I hate to say I don't blame them. It was like, oh, we're getting work.
Why the fuck did they do that?
Because they were just being thrown money.
Because Bentleys don't put gas in themselves.
Bentleys don't.
That's
goddamn right.
We do.
Don't put gas in themselves.
Spartans. There was that shitty Meet the Spartans.
So the those that are involved is Jason Friedberg and Aaron Seltzer. These guys. I want to put them I want to put them on blast because they made a lot of money. Okay, so good for them. But they killed the genre.
Yeah, they did.
There are still some people out there making some spoofs here and there. Most are not great. In fact, almost all are not great. There's not been a spoof so fucking good that it actually kickstarted the genre again. So we're kind of waiting for that. I mean, think about it.
It'll happen.
We've got enough talent. We've got enough talent here to do that. Let's talk about it at the after party.
Who needs to get
You're rushing us, Danny. You're rushing me, man. You're rushing Tony. He's talking about his thing, man. Everybody waits to hear from that guy. Trust me. This is what we want to do.
I'm not rushing it. I'm just saying. I'm pointing it out. I'm pointing it out that we should talk about it.
Gentlemen, we have two left.
Here
That is it.
Principal.
Two left.
You're such a fucking buzzkill, Susanna.
I know. Doesn't matter.
Not the first time I've heard that.
Doesn't matter. I have a list right here.
Please,
coming in and saying that I have two left. I can see that I have two left, but God bless.
The store will be closing in 5 minutes. Please take your purchases and head towards the front.
But who here isn't getting the fucking?
I was buzzed. I'm pretty sober now. So the worst of the worst has happened. These movies keep coming, and I will say, in terms of this film, and I have seen it, and it's a piece of shit.
The 41-year-old virgin.
I didn't even know that was.
This is the best title ever, though. Next to "Don't Be North and South Central."
The title's awesome.
In the Hood.
Our guest last week was on this. Did this movie? Ben
Sorry?
Morrison. Ben Morrison. This was his movie.
Oh,
Ben was on this one.
Didn't it? Yeah,
That's
he was.
wonderful.
He was on this one.
That's beautiful. So, I mean, with all due respect, of course, it's not a great film, and probably he knows it. I'm glad. I hope he got paid, of course. My point is this is the best thing about this film, and I like some of those involved. Don't get me wrong. Is the title the 41-year-old virgin who knocked up Sarah Marshall, who felt super bad about it? That's a fucking solid title.
It's great.
It's like 20 years, almost 30 years earlier. Don't be a menace to South Central while drinking your juice in the hood. That's Don't Be a Menace to Society, while drinking your juice, which is another film.
Yeah.
In the Hood, Boys in the Hood. I mean, so it gets worse. Let's go to the next one, please. 30 Nights of Paranormal Activity with the Devil Inside the Girl with a Dragon Tattoo. Fuck you. Are you kidding me?
You're just making shit up now. You're just making shit up. That's not right.
This is fucking weird movie, bro.
I'm with you, Franko.
Is that Ben Morrison?
You made that up. Is that
Abe
a real
Lincoln
thing?
Of course it's
Abe
real,
Lincoln?
dude. You think I'm fucking phoning this
Dude,
shit in?
honestly, I thought you were.
I mean, seriously, Ben, you could have made that graphic on your phone 20 minutes ago because that's fucking
Good. I'm glad you said that because that's the kind of shit that's coming out right now. Right
that
there.
hurts.
Now, so Marlon Wayans has gone on and he's made some films here and there. I'm not saying they're great or anything, but like 50 Shades of Black, this and that. He's continuing the dynasty, and I know the family's worked on like what is it? The other Wayans. Fuck, I forget his son's name. Lethal Weapon.
Oh yeah. Fuck, what is his name? Fucking third gen. I don't know.
Starts with a D. God bless him.
Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
Anyway, so at the end of the day, spoof movies. There you go. I'll wrap it up. I'm not going to phone this in anymore.
No, you're not. You're not. You're not. You're going to tell me.
Anytime sorry?
You're going to tell me the difference between a parody and a mockumentary. I need to know.
It's totally different. Mockumentary is really simple. At the end of the day, they're very close in range because they are parodying source material.
They're parodying documentaries, correct?
No, Naked Gun is not parodying a documentary. It's parodying.
No, but Spinal Tap is definitely a parody documentary.
Yeah,
it's a mockumentary show, which I feel like those two guys deserve all the credit for parody of the mockumentary.
That's another segment, though. It's a mockumentary segment. I thought this was discussed earlier via email. I don't know why the fuck this is being discussed.
Guys, thank you for
we talked about it on email. Everybody was wrong but me.
Thank you, guys.
Nah.
Guys, thank you for watching the show.
This was discussed earlier. It's crap. Bullshit. Sorry.
Hey, everybody. Go by Franko.
This is bullshit.
Music.
Oh my God! Check out the bottom, folks. Donate, please.
Mockumentary, dude. Different. This was discussed via email.
Right. I got you, man. 14 different genres to everything. I got you, man. Rock and roll. Buy into that shit.
Anchor.fm/the Danny McDermott Show /support. Guys, we need your help so we can shorten these shows.
Go to your local bookstore for Brian Panowich's book.
4 hours in the afternoon. Brian and I, we're fucking going hardcore, dude. He and I were and Franko. You kidding me?
Bye, Franko. Bye, Franko. Carino.
Tell your friends. Tune into the next show.
Love y'all.
And we're gonna do the after party. I wish you guys could be here. I love you guys.
We're gonna.
I love you guys.
After party. We're gonna.
All right, roll the credits. Damn it.
Nope.